What's up, YouTube? Keeping it a Benji, and I'm getting back with y'all. Now we got ADAM22 up there at the No Jumper News, and he going on more about China Mac, and he's also bringing up AD. Now I'm interested in to see what he gonna be saying about AD because he done pretty much came to a conclusion of working out his disagreements with AD and everything that got to do with AD. But he bringing up China Mac and AD and they fight. So let's dive in and see what happened. I'm gonna keep it a Benji for y'all in the reaction. Y'all keep it a Benji for me in the comments. Let's rock.
Okay, can I hit y'all with a truth bomb?
What's up?
Yeah, what's up? I got a little story to tell that I've never had the opportunity to tell on camera before. And you know when you got like a real good story or something that you know about, but you have reasons to not take that story and expose it to the public, but then things happen that basically allow you to feel comfortable exposing that story to the public.
What's going on?
It's one of those days.
Get it off your chest.
So there was this whole thing on the Whack and Adam podcast, the Adam and Whack show, where we talked about the Crip Mac thing. And I basically complained about the fact that China Mac had asked me to go to a bail hearing the day before. I said that I couldn't do it because I would have had to cancel 4 interviews, two of which had flown into town to do the interview.
Yeah.
I said, and I told China Mac at the time, give me a little bit more time, a little bit more notification. You as his manager should probably not be telling people like literally at 9 p.m. the night before about this sort of thing, right? And so me and Wack have this whole back and forth about it. And then China Mac, because he has absolutely nothing going on in his life, he's just like relentlessly clout chasing about this. He's doing a whole press tour, doing interviews. He's making multiple YouTube videos, trying to pay his rent. The whole thing is super fucking embarrassing because at the end of the day, I'm the person who actually has been paying Crip Mac for all these years. I'm the person who already had sent him money and put money on his books before any of this stupid fucking argument even popped off. China Mac is a person who literally his entire way of earning money up until the moment that Crip Mac got locked up was taking a percentage of the money that me and other people would give to Crip Mac. He's literally a leech who was just feeding off of the Crip Mac show.
Now, see, one thing that I don't respect from Adam whole take towards China Mac is like you just had China Mac up there at No Jumper maybe like a month ago. So it's kind of like if you feel all that or if you have those type of thoughts towards China Mac, why would you continue to have a relationship with him based upon creating content and let him come up there to your platform and work with you? That be the thing that I don't really be getting when none of these, like when people start falling out in this YouTube space or this podcast space, however you flip it, it be like everybody got so much stuff to say or expose, but they never had a problem with that when they was still dealing with them.
The opposite. I'm somebody who was enriching him and giving him money, who was getting hit up by him constantly to do business, to do content, whatever. Anyway, China Mac likes to put himself out there as if he's this really real person. So let's talk about why China Mac's relationship with Vlad TV went sour. So people will remember that China Mac was essentially a nobody. He was just some guy who was in prison up until the point that he did a Vlad TV interview. And he went viral the first time he did it. Vlad brought him back a whole bunch of different times. And so the most recent time, I think it was about a year and a half ago, that China Mac appeared on Vlad TV. I watched a few of the clips, and I noticed today when I was searching on YouTube that a lot of them have like 700,000 views, right? And the gist of that interview is that he went on there and he told Vlad all about his fight with AD. And I'm sorry to AD because I don't want to throw AD in this. Me and AD are maybe allegedly on better terms than we were a few weeks ago. But unfortunately, AD is going to essentially have to catch some strays as a result of this. So I get done watching some of the interview clips, and it's just hilarious to me because he's sitting there stone-faced lying to Vlad. And Vlad is heaping praise upon him and telling China Mac how he thinks it's so mannish and grown up that China Mac was willing to go and shoot the fade with AD in a parking lot and that the video never came out and how much he respected it. I assume that you guys probably know where this is going.
I know exactly.
Obviously, this fight was not real. And anyone who was in the No Jumper group chat at the time can confirm. And nobody's going to go on record and say that that shit was real because we...
Now some like that's some heavy stuff to digest, because it's like that's very like for a lack of words, like I'm trying to find out like what would be the right words to use in this situation, because this is like it's like if AD and China Mac really did that just for the whole content stuff and it wasn't really a fight, I mean, hey, I guess we could say that was great content because everybody believed it, and I guess it served its purpose. However, to try to get credit for being a stand-up guy or being a man and handling things as a man, and neither one of y'all actually did that, then that's like very weird to me. Like y'all could probably come up with better theories or thoughts or words in the comments than what I could come up with at this time. But to me, that's just very like, it's kind of like goofy, man. Because people gave them so much more credit for being stand-up individuals and being men like, putting their hands up, fighting, not chasing the cloud about it, and putting cameras and putting the fight out there. And it just seemed like that whole situation was an honorable situation. So if it was really created, then we got to take away from all the honor and all the points we was throwing at AD and China Mac. Now I don't know what I don't know if what Adam is saying is actually true, but this is just a weird situation.
All know that it was fake. I text Vlad after the fucking final clip rolls, and I say to Vlad, I'm like, Vlad, I can't believe you let this motherfucker go up there and lie to you like that. Boom, Vlad calls me. Vlad says, what are you talking about? And he like doesn't want to believe it because Vlad.
And see, this is the thing. How can you call Vlad ADAM22 and say, I can't believe you letting this guy lie to your face? When what are you actually doing? Like you are actually withholding a lie. Like you keeping up with a lie. How do Vlad know the difference from the truth or the lie when he's not directly involved? You are directly involved. So it speaks a lot about your character, Adam, for you to be okay with a lie, condone a lie, participate in a lie, all until this point when a person says something or does something you don't like, you have to throw a lot of people under the bus. You threw up you when you say ask anybody from the No Jumper group chat, that's throwing all them under the bus. Now you exposing AD participation in this whole gimmick, that's throwing AD under the bus. And then it's like your character, no matter what you say in this situation, is at trial too. Your character is in court. It's on trial. Like you could talk and say everything you want to say about anybody else. But while you bashing other people or pointing out stuff about other people, you are definitely pointing out things about yourself and exposing your own flaws in your character.
He does these interviews, he does this content, and he doesn't really feel like people are so sinister that they're going to go on there and just lie and troll to his face. And I know for a fact that Vlad doesn't appreciate that shit. So Vlad starts asking me all these questions. I explained to him how the whole thing was a work, and Vlad is fucking pissed. And I didn't find this out until much, much later, but Vlad instantly, as soon as we get off the phone, calls China Mac and confronts him about it because he's fucking pissed off that China Mac went on there and just basically fed a whole story to him. So what I actually need the people out there to do is to go and watch those interview clips in which China Mac is sitting there just blatantly lying and accepting praise for a fake fight that was a total fucking skit. And I feel like a lot of those clips are going to be seen in a completely different light at this point. But that shit happened, and as a result, you haven't seen China Mac anywhere near the Vlad platform ever since, right? So I say all that to say that right now, I am being attacked by someone, and it's always this weird asymmetry when you're getting attacked by somebody who knows everything about you because they're
and I could have my dates not in order, but I think y'all let me know in the comments, did China Mac and ODM Slim have the whole prank up there at Mac Talk with Vlad? Like, did that take place after China Mac did his last interview with Vlad, or did he do the prank with ODM Slim on Vlad, and then he went up there to Vlad? Because if he did the prank with ODM Slim with Vlad after him going up there to do the interview with Vlad, then that can't really be the exact reason why China Mac or Vlad ain't been doing content with each other. And we don't know nothing that Adam is saying to be true or false. You know, we just don't know.
Religious watcher of your content versus me, where I have almost nothing to say about him because I've never really watched any serious amount of China Mac content. Like all I know is the information that I've sort of fallen ass backwards into obtaining. But this is a guy who's out here acting like he's the real, like he's a gangster, like he did all this prison time and he's so tough and yada, yada, yada. And it's like, you faked a fucking fight and you dragged real LA gang members into it. And countless people out there have made YouTube content where they basically attempted to, comment on this and praise how manly it was for him to do this sort of thing and to shoot the fade and not have a video come out of it or whatever. I say all that to say, this is the thirstiest dude in the history of communication on the internet. And it gets worse because literally yesterday, do you remember this girl, Ava, this trans girl, Flakko, who was on Speed Stream? She was on Aiden Ross, etc. Yeah. This is mind-blowing, and you guys are all going to get to see this when it comes out, the clip in a couple weeks or a week or whatever. I'm sitting there talking to her, and she's talking about something about, people talking shit or people trolling you online, and I just say, yeah, I've been dealing with it today. I got some fucking idiot just trolling the shit out of me or whatever. And she immediately goes, China Mac. And I'm like, oh, she saw it on my story earlier today, whatever. She reveals that right before China Mac started managing Crip Mac, China Mac was trying to start an all-trans record label. This is a real thing that she told me. His big plan for how he was going to profit off the culture before the Crip Mac thing, which he ended up resorting to, was to start a trans record label.
TS Records is crazy.
I'm just saying, this is the level of desperation that is oozing out of the shiny-faced pores of somebody like China Mac. It's just fucking sad, and it's desperate. And now you have somebody like me who really has actually invested a lot of money into Crip Mac and has done everything possible for him for all these years. Where did China Mac go? As soon as Crip Mac caught this case, China Mac was out of here. He has no reason to be in California. He fled back to the East Coast as soon as Crip Mac caught this case. And now he's out here virtue signaling and trying to act like he's ever done something for Crip Mac. You have never done anything for Crip Mac aside.
Listen, one thing that I am going to point out, no matter what Adam feel about China Mac or what China Mac feel about ADAM22, we haven't heard Crip Mac come out publicly and say anything negative towards or about China Mac or ADAM22. So however either one of those individuals feel about each other, we got to keep it in our minds that Crip Mac have not came out and said nothing never bad about China Mac or ADAM22. Like in a real form of him being disappointed or feeling like they used them or acting like they are not his real friends. Nothing like that. So we got to keep that in mind when we listening to what China Mac say about Adam or what Adam say about China. Because we don't really know the truth.
Stand next to him in some fucking vlogs, which, by the way, my boy Remo is the one who thought up the concepts for every single episode of Mac Ventures, and he's not involved anymore because, once again, China Mac is a scammer and didn't ever pay him the money that he was supposed to get paid, which was also the story that Ava, the trans girl from the China Mac record label, told me, is that part of the reason why her relationship fell out with China Mac was because of the fact that he didn't pay the video director and all these other people that were doing business for this trans woman. So I say all that to say, dude is a scammer, dude is a fake gangster, and dude is virtue signaling off of claiming to have helped Crip Mac when in reality he...
Like, one thing I hate in this media space is like when people that's like normal or supposed to be civilians or not supposed to be connected to the streets or not a gangster or not a part of no gang bang culture, when they get to saying what a person's not. Like, if you're not a gangster, then you can't say another person's not a gangster. You don't even know what the qualifications actually are. You don't know the inner works of what being a gangster is. So you could just point him out to be everything that you can speak on him about. He might be a liar, man of not he's a man that's not of he don't keep his word, scammer, all those type of things. I guess you could speak on that. But why would you want to speak about the gangster stuff if you not participating in the gangster stuff yourself? It has nothing to do with you. You just throwing stuff in the pot just to make it sound more tough or sound more like, disrespectful, I'd say.
Never did anything for him besides take his 20% and keep it moving. And he wasn't even able to get Crip Mac move it in such a way that he wouldn't end up back in federal prison, because as we all know, he has now caught a case as a result of the fact that China Mac and other people in his life were not around. And keep in mind, too, that China Mac and Crip Mac had a huge falling out like 2 weeks before he got arrested, which is why China Mac took such offense to it when I put out that clip of Crip Mac talking about them falling out or whatever. The whole thing, the reason why he didn't like that being exposed to the people was because of the fact that that was a real thing, that they actually were beefing. And the only reason why they're back on good terms now is because of the fact that Crip Mac got locked up and Crip Mac needs all the help he could get. Crip Mac was completely ready to leave China Mac in the past. And when you look at a lot of the other people like Lupe, who I'm going to have on the podcast tomorrow so we can talk more about this, none of these people think that China Mac has actually been a good or positive influence in Crip Mac's lifestyle. He's just another leech that came along and tried to get something out of Crip Mac. And now, as impossible as it is,
one thing that I will actually say that I am totally tired of, I'm totally tired of everybody pointing fingers or playing the blame game when it comes to who has the best interest for Crip Mac and who really means him well. Like, at this point, it's like everybody got to just have their own thought, but nobody really knows directly. But I'm very interested in to see what Lupe gonna say. But at this moment, it's just like everybody got something bad to say about everybody. Like, everybody's not team ADAM22 fully. Nobody's fully China Mac team. Nobody's fully team Lupe. Nobody's team fully team 600. Nobody was really team ODM Slim. I really just don't know what's the real truths of the inner works of the whole lifestyle of Crip Mac and content and his managers and friends and stuff like that. So I'm just tired of even hearing people talking about who has the best interest for Crip Mac. Crip Mac got to make the right choice to have the right people around him, or, interact by himself and get things done by himself. But it's just a weird case, and I just get tired of hearing that.
To believe he's on my ass because he's trying to project away the fact that I'm someone who actually has done things for Crip Mac and helped him and tried to work with him and tried to put him into better situations, not just taking from him like you, China Mac, you fucking villain. So I just wanted to come on here to make that perfectly clear and to expose the fact that China Mac lied about this infamous fight and then went on Vlad TV as well as many other podcasts. And I really need help from the community of going back and finding these clips and clipping them, because this is some of the funniest shit that has ever happened. Just the fact that he's so addicted to clout that he was willing to make up this bizarre narrative like that.
I have a question for the room.
Hit
That's
me.
a bomb.
So, and it's China Mac excluded because I don't know China Mac. When you guys first saw the clip from the Adam and Wax show and the Twitter discourse, I don't know if you guys be on Twitter. I be on Twitter. So I saw the Twitter discourse. Everybody going up on Adam. Were you guys even surprised by the clip? Like, my whole retort was, why are you guys surprised? Like, if something was to happen to me legally, and I'm getting to my question, if something was to happen to me, I don't think that on short notice, I'm not looking on short notice for Adam to show up to my court or bail hearing on short notice. Are you guys looking to Adam to show up to your court or bail hearing on short notice?
Last night. Now, if we give it.
Now, again, I don't know the truth, and y'all probably don't know the truth neither. But if ADAM22 was only warned about are aware of, brought if they only brought it to his attention about the whole going to court for Crip Mac a night before, then that was bad business. You know, that was bad business, and we do gotta give a little leniency towards to Adam 22 about that. And I don't know if China Mac actually did do that or not, but you should have tried your best to be lining that up prior to the 24 hours that you brought that to Adam 22's attention. That's just my theory on it, if that's what actually took place.
Nigga, like 72 hours, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. 24 hours, right?
And that's the thing that offended me and pissed me off about the way that this all played out on social media is that people are putting it out there as if I had no interest in going there, when in reality, even before China Mac started talking about me, Lupe had asked me, she's like, yo, so can we actually find a date for his next bail hearing so that you and Wack, who is somebody that doesn't even fuck with Crip Mac, that has basically stated that they need to get down at times in recent memory, we both made it clear that we would do it. I just told China Mac I'm not doing it on 24 hours notice because I literally have people who flew in to do interviews with me tomorrow. And I also like how people are acting like this would be some short fucking thing. Like this would take many, many hours and it would fuck up all my other interviews. It's not, never once did I say, hey, I'm not down to show up to court for him. I just said, if you want me to do this, be professional and let me know with a significant amount of time. So again, he's putting it on me and it's on him. What are you saying?
No, remember, he said, you should have sent like an employee perfectly white. And I was saying, even if Adam would have asked the employees, I wouldn't have done it. Right? Like
you wouldn't have went to the court hearing if he had action.
The fuck am I going?
But you're not.
Listen, if I'm Adam, I wouldn't do it.
Right,
bro.
Right.
Bro, I have a wife, a kid.
What the fuck do I look like?
The fuck am I going?
You're not required
I agree with that, but I still would have done it, even though, in that same video where China Mac is calling me out, he acknowledges and admits in that same video, and I do not know why he would acknowledge this in the same video, that if I had gone, it would have gone the exact same way because he's facing very, very serious charges, and one character witness, not to mention a porn star with a bunch of tattoos all over his face, showing up at the courtroom and saying, hey, he's a good guy, he does interviews with me every 2 weeks or whatever, would not really have moved the needle on how all this shit is going to proceed. Now, that being said, I still would have gone. It's just that China Mac is so unbelievably unprofessional that he hits me up at the very last minute when, logically speaking, he probably knew that I wasn't going to be able to clear my...
Now, y'all let me know how y'all think about this theory of mine, right? But I feel like one of the things that China Mac did totally wrong was he didn't try to move Crip Mac somewhere else. Like, I felt like he kept him grounded wherever he was grounded, and Crip Mac should have got moved out of Los Angeles, another county, or maybe even another state. I know you can't always tell a person what to do or how to do stuff, but, that's something that I feel like should have been on the topic of discussion for Crip Mac, far as just getting out of jail for doing like 10 months and he trying to get off parole and everything else. Like, I guess he probably can't even move if he on parole then, huh? Maybe he could have made a request and maybe they would have allowed him to do it. I don't know.
Schedule for the next day to be able to do it. And then as soon as that happens, what does he do? He runs to YouTube to make videos exposing me because he's a fucking thirsty clout chaser. I would actually like to change his name to Thirsty Mac. I think we need to remove the China Mac from the situation because there are a lot of great Chinese people out here and I don't feel like this bum should be the representative of them. But I mean, the whole thing is just so ridiculous. I am not taking any of it serious when I see people talking shit about me on Twitter or whatever. I don't give a fuck.
And mind you, again, like I said, Adam just had China Mac up there doing a No Jumper show about a month ago, So everything that he's saying about China Mac is something he's been knowing about for about at least 6 months or better. So...
But the fact that China Mac is using this as an opportunity to virtue signal against the 22 stir really rubs me the wrong way. And I feel like the fans, you're a little too good to be falling for.
And real quick, first off, ADAM22 and China Mac both need this right now when it comes to this content space. Because obviously ADAM22 just lost a lot of his whole viewing when it came to he's not beefing with Figminity World no more. That was a big, that's taking a blow. And then you have Crip Mac moving missing in action. So Crip Mac is missing in action, and guess what? That's content ADAM22 is gonna miss out on. And also with China Mac, he's missing out on creating content with Crip Mac because Crip Mac is missing in action. So China Mac and ADAM22 both kind of need this problem on the creating content end for the type of negative and how it brings the attention. So I don't know if they doing this on purpose or what, but I could definitely see that both of them need this problem between each other.
This bullshit.
100,000 views in 10 hours. Listen, I'll be real.
Right. Signal against the 22 stir really rubs me the wrong way, and I feel like the fans, you're a little too good to be falling for this bullshit.
100,000 views in 10 hours. Listen, I'll be real.
Right.
If I'm him, I'm making that video too.
His videos against me are getting so many more views than the vlogs that he was doing with Crip Mac, which puts it into perspective of like China Mac talking about me. I actually fully expect him to become a full-time ADAM22 vlogger reaction channel now, because this is obviously like what's moving the needle for him. So I get it from that perspective. The problem is that nobody takes anything you say seriously because you're such a blatant clout chaser, and he's literally willing to do anything, fake anything, to get the attention, which he proved when he faked the fight for AD. And by the way, the reason why we all know that, Sus, I don't know if you were in the group chat when that actually happened, but AD hit the group chat and said, hey, this is so goofy. China Mac wants me to fake this fight. 2 days later, they're actually faking the fight. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And I tried to get AD to admit to it after that, but he never wanted to talk about it afterwards. He was hoping that we would all just kind of forget that he had proposed this idea in the chat. And it's just... I don't know.
Wait. Wow, that's crazy. So the fight was actually, okay.
The fight never happened. Do you seriously think that AD and China Mac were going to fight over the idea of who had the better food show? Like, why did anyone fall for this in the first place?
Wait, was there actual beef with the food show, or was that like fake too?
No, it was all fake.
Oh,
see, Josh knows. Josh
can't beef over a food show. That's crazy.
Why would they beef over a food show? Number one, it's like the least creative.
This idiot Dejan Paul just can't keep his mouth shut about things that don't got nothing to do with him. When Adam go off on his rant talking about you can't beef over a food show. People beef over anything that comes to mind. People will beef over anything. But also, I don't know if it's true or not about the fight happening or being a prank, but it wasn't about just because who has a better food show. It was about China Mac made the narrative that he gave ideas to AD, and AD stole those ideas and he took them to the No Jumper platform and started We Hungry. That's what China Mac was saying he was mad about. I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm just saying this is what China Mac was saying he was mad about. So it's always something deeper. It's always the insult or the disrespect that's on the topic, deeper than what people just gather from their shallow minds.
Idea ever. This.
Was there actual beef with the food show, or was that like fake too?
No, it was all fake.
Oh,
see, Josh knows. Josh
can't beef over a food show. That's crazy.
Why would they beef over a food show? Number one, it's like the least creative idea ever. There's 5 million other food shows. And number two, like, it just doesn't make any sense. And it's still amazing to me because when anything happens, whenever you watch a fight on Twitter, you're thinking like, damn, is this fake? This seems kind of fake. Is this shit fake? We all have like heightened fake sensors, right? Why the fuck did nobody pick out the fact that this was fake? Why have I had to carry this shit around for 2 years knowing that shit was fake? That's all I'm saying.
Listen, right? Because we all assume like the actual.
This just the more that he keep going on about this fight, it just shows that he really has no type of loyalty about nothing. Like, you're not having no loyalty to anybody else that kept that secret. So you get into it with China Mac and you expose so many other people.
Beef over like the food show was real again, because I done seen niggas beef over less, right? Over way less, right? So again, I done seen niggas beef over chicken wings, right?
At least Flakko and Almighty Suspect is keeping it a Benji.
Adam, you left out a very integral part of your argument, I'm big on precedence, so I would just say, like me personally, I don't expect an employer to show up to a court or bail hearing 24 hours before on short notice. Even when I worked at FedEx, I didn't expect my supervisor or the owner of FedEx to come down to, if I was, knock on wood, to get into any legal trouble, to show up to my court hearing in 24-hour notice. Or at all, but definitely not 24-hour notice. But you failed to mention, like, Lear Cohen didn't show up to the Young Thug trial. Lear Cohen didn't show up to the Irv Gotti trial. Or Jimmy Iovine didn't show up.
Bro, this dude is totally making like some totally different comparisons. Like it's parts in there that you can kind of compare, but you just really can't compare Crip Mac and ADAM22 with Young Thug and Leor and so on and so on. Like, godly, man, just chill out. You comparing it totally different, because Kevin Lyles showed up to court for Young Thug. Why don't you bring that up? If you point out everything and you care about the facts of everything, Kevin Lyles went up there on behalf of Young Thug and the whole YSL. So speak the facts all around the board.
To the Snoop Dogg case back in the 90s that we were really not 24-hour notice. But you failed to mention, like, Lear Cohen didn't show up to the Young Thug trial. Lear Cohen didn't show up to the Irv Gotti trial. Or Jimmy Iovine didn't show up to the Snoop Dogg case back in the 90s that we were just talking about. Dr. Dre didn't even show up to the Snoop Dogg case. Let's take it off race. Dr. Dre, who's also black, didn't show up to Snoop Dogg's trial in the 90s. That's why it was a whole issue before his departure from Death Row. So people are going to do what they want to do. That's why I said when I saw the clip on Twitter, I wasn't surprised, and it didn't upset me, because adults are going to do what adults want to do. If you don't want to go somewhere on a 24-hour notice, that's your prerogative as an adult. Was the clip entertaining? Sure.
Right.
But I wasn't. It didn't upset me, because you're an adult. If you don't want to go on a 24-hour notice, you can't make it. That's up to you. That's your prerogative, in my opinion.
Right? It's like, what
I don't expect him to do that.
Yeah, right? It's like where do Adam like draw like the line between a really friendly boss and the homie, like him, right? For example, I think that Adam and let's say Calvin or Bassa were friends? Like, okay, yeah, you're right?
Kelvin?
Yeah, right? Do I think, right, that they were like friends? Probably.
And see, I'm gonna make this statement because I seen a lot of people in my previous videos about this topic wanting me to bring up the Famous Richard situation. Like, you know, when Famous Richard was acting like he was gonna do something to Adam, Crip Mac stood in front of that and stood tall. And he acted like, you know, he was gonna definitely be willing to throw down on behalf of Famous Richard, acting like he's gonna do something to ADAM22. I don't know if it's true or not, but you gotta put stuff like that in perspective. Like,
not friends, right? But Adam is a friendly boss, right? So, like, do you now have to like treat every employee as your best friend?
So I just want to clarify that for sure I wanted to go to this. Okay. And as soon as Lupe hit me up with a decent amount of, runway to be able to plan it out, I said, yes, I definitely want to do it. Okay. It's not some shit where I'm like, no, anybody who works here at No Jumper is just an employee. I don't give a fuck about them. I'm not reaching out for them. I'm not doing anything.
Shit, you said you would bail me out if I went to jail.
I fucking bailed Brick Baby out the second he got his case.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like, Josh already told my mom, you feel me? If something happened, you feel me, call him and they gonna come get me.
Oh, damn. Well, hey.
Well, y'all hear right there from Almighty Suspect. And, we did do a video a while ago about that was cool for ADAM22 to help bail out Brick Baby. So, we got to speak on the good end. How we call out the bad, we got to call out the good.
I could attest to that they personally said they'll come get me. I'm not
you know what it is? Though. It's just like, I'm like the auto demon in these situations. I'm the person who's super easy to blame everything on. I don't know what track is calling me right now. It might not be the best time. But it's super easy to blame stuff on me. And then I have somebody like China Mac who has never run a business in his entire life, not to mention has never been successful at anything, has never had anything go his way in life. He pretty much transitioned directly from being a prisoner to being a Vlad character that went on his podcast. He fucked that opportunity up, so he started trying to manage Crip Mac. He started trying to start a trans record label for some reason. And as a result, now he's out here just projecting on me, where I have so many things weighing on me, so many different employees that I want to keep working, so many different hosts that I want to keep on the channel, so many different interviews that I'm trying to grind out so that we can actually keep shit going financially and everything. And then I have somebody like China Mac who literally does not know the level of responsibility that it takes to run a lemonade stand, and he's out here making YouTube videos projecting on me. China Mac, you cannot talk about this. You have no room to speak on anything because you are no better than the homeless people living in the tents on the side of the fucking road. You have nothing going for you. Your schedule is clear today, tomorrow, and for the rest of time. You have nothing going on. That's why you have time to come up with ideas like starting a transgender record label or managing the 55th Street Baby Low Infant General, whatever. I'm sorry, I probably just fucked that up, but you know what I'm saying.
Baby Low Infant General.
This guy got infinite fucking time on his hands. And that's why he's able to make 3 YouTube videos about me in the last 24 hours, because he's got nothing fucking going on. Anyway.
Yo, Baby
We
Low
have finally
Infant
found a
General.
bigger culture vulture than me. I guess that's part of the point that I want to get across here.
Oh
my God.
okay. Well, now that's a wild one, right?
Like the Mount Rushmore of culture vultures.
Take me off of there and put China Mac up there. Come on now. Take me down.
You got Lyrico up there.
Adam is now leading a coup to put China Mac on the Mount Rushmore stage.
Steve Stout.
That is a good idea.
Wait, is Steve Stout black?
You can be black and be a culture vulture. I put Steve Stout up there.
Damn near.
You in the runnings too. The shit she was talking today. You didn't see this nigga today.
Listen,
The shit you was talking today. You down
I
there
have
up there.
resigned.
The fact that Flakko didn't know that you can be a black person and still be a culture vulture shows that he doesn't know everything he wants to act like he knows.
From like talking about nigga shit though, and on my channel. So.
He's not like a regular black guy. He's like a Dr. Umar style guy.
Yes.
Dr. Umar.